Hello guys, what is up? So, I have a book review for you guys today. Yes, today we have a book review. And I am sorry, yes, I know I said that I do these a little bit more professionally, or did I say that? I don't remember. But, yeah, I have a stand for my phone, but I just don't have anywhere to stand it up right now. So, right now, you're just gonna have to deal with, sorry, there's something on my face. Well, at least it feels like there's something on my face. But anyways, yeah, I don't have anywhere to put that stand, so you guys have to just deal with me handling the phone like this. Sorry, not professional at all, I know. But it doesn't matter what the video, well, it shouldn't matter what the quality of the film or review looks like. It just matters what I think of the book. So, with that, I'll read the synopsis for The Brain Eaters by Gary Brandner, and then we will dive into my review and then talk about a little bit about it. Sorry, I had to pause because I heard my mom call Lula's name, but Lula's up here, so I guess one of the other dogs are getting in trouble. But anyways, here we go. The synopsis for The Brain Eaters by Gary Brandner. Here we go. Never had he seen anything like what was happening to Hank Stransky. Red blotches formed on his skin across his face. They darkened into shiny pustules, which broke like ripe boils, discharging a gooey liquid. Hank jumped up from the bar stool and spun completely around like a man in some mad dance. Sorry, I think it was spelled wrong or something. I don't know. I never heard that word spelled like that before. Span. I never heard span like that. Spun, maybe? Anyways, first a workman goes crazy in a public bar with a broken bottle. A taxi driver murderously slams his cab into a crowd of pedestrians. A newly-wed bride slaughters her husband in a restaurant and plunges through a plate glass window. The three strange, violent deaths, 3 different cities, and all on the same day. But these are only the first of thousands. For something has gone terribly, horribly wrong. So that is the synopsis for The Brain Eaters. Let me see you here. Let me pull up my written review. So, here is my written review. Oh boy. Don't hate me, guys, okay? I know Gary Brandner is precious. He wrote one of my favorite werewolf books of all time. That is The Howling. I really enjoyed that book. The Howling was amazing. The movie was pretty good too. So, yeah. He's had some success. So, I think it's okay that I talk about this book the way I'm about to. So here we go. Here's my review. And sorry for Lula chewing a bone on the background. Here we go. I like this story a ton, but the characters weren't all that well written and likable. I'm not saying characters have to be likable for me to enjoy a good story, but one of the main characters, the protagonist Corey, was a huge dick, and I wanted him to die so badly, and not to ruin anything, Corey is the hero of this story. So, of course, there was no way he wouldn't get the girl in the end. Overall, I'm giving this story 3.5 stars, rounded up to 4, but I really want to say that the performance for this was out of the park. Excellent narration. Gotta applaud the narrator for this one. Great narration and a pretty good but outdated story. So that is my review. Yes, it's outdated. I originally saw this book reviewed by Cameron Chaney. He gave it, I think, sorry about that. My night alarm to remind me to take my medicine just alarmed or just turned on. So it ended the video and now I have to reshoot. Or I'm going to just take what I recorded and add on to it, which is probably what I'm going to do because I don't feel like redoing this whole thing over again. So yeah, wherever I left off, basically what I was saying is that I saw this on Cameron Chaney's channel. He reviewed it. I believe he gave it, in fact, I probably can find his review here. He gave it, I believe, 3 stars. And I totally get what he's saying. He wrote this long-ass review. Oh, yeah, okay, here it is. He gave it a solid 3.5 stars, but for some reason he just rated it 3 stars. Maybe he didn't want to give the author 4 stars. I don't really know. But anyways, he gave it 3.5 stars, and that's where I am at. So, yeah, 3.5 stars. Very outdated book. There's a mention of, well, there's... I see Gary Brandner does not like gay people that much. Or at least the times that he came up in, the 80s or whatever this was written in. He obviously had something against gay people at the time. I don't know if that's changed, but he wrote his characters like... the way he wrote gay people in the book were... It was like I was reading... It just was not the very flattering, if you ask me. In some moments I could understand it being used, but others it just made the book outdated, to be honest with you. And it's kind of funny that I read or listened to this book during the coronavirus, because yeah, this starts off very eerily similar to what we're going through right now. You have all the non-believers, and it's, I'm just looking at it now. I'm laughing at the fact that it actually has a 3.50 rating on Goodreads, and that's actually where everyone is basically rating this book, is 3.5. So I think that was kind of funny that that's how it works out. But anyways, yeah, I really did not like how outdated this book is. Like I said, there's mentions of gay people in a derogatory sense. Didn't like that. Hated the protagonist, Corey. I hated him so much. I don't remember his last name. Maybe it was Miller or something like that. I don't really care. Honestly, I didn't like Corey at all. And the whole time I was hoping he would get his, comeuppance, because, well, not comeuppance, but he didn't really do anything wrong. It was just what he thought and how he acted. I just didn't really care for him, Corey, at all, And he just, nothing bad happens to him at all. And it's just infuriating, because you just want to see him torn up into pieces. And you're hoping for it the whole story, because that would save the story and make it like a 4-star book. But alas, it didn't happen that way. Corey survives. I'm sorry to spoil that, but yeah. If you're interested in reading this book, it doesn't deter you at all, because honestly, he's gonna survive in the end. You just know. It's hard to explain why but it's just one of those things. I really wanted him to die, and he doesn't. So if you're gonna read this book, just know the main character is not very likable, and it doesn't matter. The story's still really good, but it is outdated, like I said. And honestly, this book could have been better, just by the death of the main character alone. But I'm gonna give this one 3.5, because even though I lean towards 3, I kept leaning towards 3. I honestly think the narration probably bumped it up to a 3.5 for me, because the narration was a 5-star narration. It was really, really good. I really dug the narration. It was easy to follow along with. It was entertaining, and I could not get enough of this audiobook. I wanted to go on all the walks, because I wanted to walk every single day, because that's the only time I listen to my audiobook. And I would walk 2 dogs, because I was like, I want to get out there and listen to my audiobook some more. So, yeah. The narration was beautiful. I loved it. But the book itself, it just is outdated. And, yeah. But like I said, the narration just was baller. It was awesome. I loved it. And so, yeah. If you're thinking about picking this book up, just be aware that it is from the 80s, okay? It's an 80s pulp horror book. Maybe not pulp, but yeah, it's excuse me, it's definitely dated. And that's my really only big complaint, really, other than the poorly written characters. Okay, when I say poorly written characters, it's just really one character that's poorly written. And that's Corey, because he's supposed to be this... He's just a douchebag, honestly. And he ruined the story just by not dying. Does that make any sense? I never wanted a character to die so badly just for him to get the girl. It's just frustrating, you know? I mean, I can read stories about douchebags. I can. I've read Daniel J. Volpe's book, Billy Silver, which I gave, I think, 4 or 5 stars. Probably 5 stars. It was really good. I gave that book 5 stars. The character was not likable at all, but you knew what was coming to him. You know what I'm saying? And that's what made me want to follow this story. I wanted to see what kind of fucked up situation he was going to get himself into and how he was going to pass, basically. And that's how I don't have to have the good guy or the bad guy win. I mean, the bad guy can win sometimes. I get that. But this Corey was just annoying. And his character was so just annoying. I can't explain, man. I just really wanted Corey to die, and he doesn't die. So, and that might be a minor spoiler. But still, I mean, you kind of know he's going to shelter himself, and he's never going to actually be in peril when you're reading the book. So, I don't think that's that big of a spoiler, to be honest with you. So, if you hate Miller, or Corey, whatever his last name is, if you hate Corey as much as I do, just know that I don't want you to waste your time. If you hate Corey as much as I did, just know he doesn't get what is coming his way. He's not gonna die. So you can stop reading the book if you're invested in the book because you want to see what's gonna happen to Corey. I totally suggest not reading this or finishing it, because honestly, you're not gonna come out with a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel like you just wasted a lot of time following this character that you are hoping dies, and he doesn't. So, yeah, but like I said, there are some good characters in this story, you know, and like the scientist was a good character. The girl that Corey gets in the end is a good character. You have some interesting characters, but honestly, the main character, Corey, is just so bad. It was hard following the story when you knew the character like Corey was gonna come up on top. You know what I'm saying? I did not like that at all, you know? But in the end, it was really well written. The story was good, but I knock a few points off. The narration was fantastic, by the way, but I knock a few points off, a few stars. I knocked 2.5 stars off, basically, because of Corey and because of how outdated it is. You know, the story was good, but it wasn't, like, so good that it raised it to a 4-star for me. So I'm going to be at 3.5. I think that's a fair rating. Honestly, I like this book, but I feel like and I'm looking at the time, this was going to be one of my longer reviews in a while, because honestly, I feel like my longer reviews are the ones where I don't like the book. Although one of my favorite books on my reviews on my channel was like 30 minutes long, and that was like a book I really liked. But that's besides the point. I've seen myself rant about books before, and this is kind of a semi-rant. I just really didn't like Corey at all. You know, I could do without Corey. If he died halfway through the book, it would have been great. Okay, that's my little rant. That's my review for The Brain Eaters by Gary Brandner. I'm definitely going to read more of Gary Brandner's work, because he's just fabulous. His writing's awesome. I don't like his point of views on things, but honestly, his stories are just that good. The Howling didn't have any, like, how do I put it? It wasn't derogatory, really. It was just a really good story, you know? I gave The Howling, I think, like 4.5 or 4 stars. Maybe even 5. Who knows? But, This is my second Gary Brandner book, and it's not going to be my last. I have another one called I think it's called Doomstalker. And then I have another audiobook by Gary Brandner. I don't know who narrates it, but I have one on at my phone. So I got to get to that one eventually. But this is my second, like I said, my second time reading Gary Brandner's work. And not going to lie, I'm a little disappointed. The Howling was just fantastic. I really liked The Howling. It was a really, really good book. But overall, this one just doesn't do it for me. But given that, it's a really good story. So that's why I'm conflicted. But 3.5 is where I stand. I hope you guys are having a great day. And I'm going to say goodbye now because, yeah, it's time for me to get some editing done. Self-editing. Because, man, I got some good news. And, you know, I'm going to release another video telling you about that good news, but just know something good happened to me and I'm really happy. So yeah, so I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you have a spooky night, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.